I wish I knew. The last set of tires definitely did not kind of sit well with the car, right? It just seemed to be a lot looser there after that last caution, and I think some of that, you do like a track position. I don't know. I kind of look back at the restart there, and I don't really know what I could have done any different, but maybe just happened to be a little more aggressive on the restart. Got the tires hot, something different. Just really disappointed, and Jesse had come on there at the end of that run before the caution came out, and it was really good, and I knew that, and so I wanted to really have a good restart and be able to battle it out with him, but just didn't work out, and I'm bummed because I wanted to send Jim off with a championship. Junior Motorsports as a whole, we didn't win an owner or a driver championship with 3 out of the 4, so that's super frustrating on my end, and I think all of our ends. So Jesse just did a really good job tonight. That last 100 laps for Jesse was probably one of the best drives I've ever seen him put on, and I watched him race open wheel and ARCA and all the different stuff, and that was one of the best drives he's put on. So congrats to the 2 team. They deserved it tonight.
You might be too close to the moment to be able to properly evaluate this, but now that it's happened and Jesse won the championship and we see the emotion out of Connor, how do we reconcile his season not resulting into a championship when we look back on it years from now?
You don't, without a different format. Now that being said, we had this conversation with Joey. Look, at the end of the day, the format is the format, and we have to race to the format, right? It doesn't matter if it's a 1-race format, 33 races, 5, 7, 10. Our job as racers and as teams is to go out there and make the most of it. I don't dislike the format. It's bit me way more than it's ever helped me. But last year when it benefited us, it was great, right? So I don't know what the right answer is. I know last night social media was abuzz because Corey actually won. Tonight is probably going to be flip-flop, right? And people are going to be upset because Connor did win. But look at the season that Jesse's had, and you look at what he did tonight. Not only did he win the championship, he won the race. He drove by all of us. He did all the right things. That, to me, is doing what your job is and excelling at it. And they rose to the occasion, and we didn't. I'm not mad about it. I just got to go work harder next year. And if the format is the same, make the most of it. And if it's not, we'll do something different.
Go to the back here to John.
John Howard on 3 Sports. Justin, you had 3 young teammates this season and 3 very talented teammates. What was it like seeing these young guys develop over the season and to see 2 of them end up in the championship with you?
There's a moment last week where I thought we were going to end up with all 4 of us in, right? And I said at the beginning of the year, the media day, and all year long that I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of us were in, right? And I'm really proud of our group. I'm proud of all 5 cars, right? We ran that 5th car quite a bit. I'm proud of the drivers. This guy right here has done an amazing job this year, right? Connor's obviously excelled beyond belief and done a really good job. Sammy has worked as hard as I've ever seen anybody work and has made his program significantly better. And they had a really good race tonight, and they've been really strong in these playoffs. So I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of the effort. We have great tools. We have great people. Chevrolet has helped us with resources that help these guys get to the level that they're at a really quick progress level. And I couldn't have been happier with my teammates this year, right? We all got along really well. It was great. We very rarely had any moments, and there's always going to be that off chance because we race each other. We're battling for wins on a regular basis, right? It's easy to get upset at your teammate when stuff doesn't go the way that you want it to go. But when it's all said and done, I felt like, I'm really proud of the group that we have. And I know it's changing a little bit for next year, right? But at the same time, I still feel like we have a great group, and I'm really proud of what we got.
Go over here to Stephen. We're also joined, I'm sorry, I mentioned this yet. Carson Kvapil, another member of the championship floor. Thank you for joining us, Carson. We'll go to Stephen.
Here it comes.
Stephen Stuff, Trump.com, question for both. Well, first a question for Justin. You showed a ton of speed this year, even in the second half of the year, even though it didn't result in the trip to victory lane. What can you take from the second half of the year and tonight and looking forward to 2026 and getting back to victory lane?
I mean, if I look at the stat line, I don't know exactly what it is, but over 1,000 laps led, 3 wins, 14 top 5s, something like that. Does that sound right? You gotta pull it up there.
Yes.
Recent reference.
15.
15 top 5s? All right. I'm really proud of the year we've had. I don't know how many stages we won, but it's a lot. Those are things that I'm going to take out of this season that are fantastic, right? With that being said, though, there's still, I look back at some of the races and just stuff that got away from us, things that didn't go our way. And if you just take the last 10 laps of probably 10 races, the timetable flips and we have probably 8 or 10 wins and life's great, right? We go into the off season. I got a lot of change coming in the off season. Getting a new crew chief and whatever changes come along with that, and any rules changes and all that stuff that are coming. So we still got to work that out for us. But just a lot of solace in being the old guy out there and still being able to go after it and run as fast as we have been.
And Carson, I know that probably wasn't the result you wanted, but just how would you describe the overall experience, and what can you take from tonight and for next year as well?
Yeah, I feel like the experience of having this whole Xfinity season and the playoffs and stuff was it was different for me. It was something that I hadn't ever been accustomed to, and the type of racing was different, and how you race people was definitely a lot different. I grew to enjoy it as we got farther into the playoffs. Like I didn't really like it at first, and then once we started to get in the round of 8 and stuff, and we started to get benefiting off of it, I started to like it. But this team put us in a great spot to be in the Final Four, and we did it the hard way. We never won a race, and we pointed our way in on every round that we had, and just worked our tails off on that, and we never had a break, and we never gave up, and it was getting tough towards the middle of the season, but we just kept trucking, and we got ourselves all the way to a Final Four spot. And you're right, it wasn't the way I wanted it to go, but I know these guys worked their tails off to try to bring me the best piece, and we had a really good car to start. We started 14th, and by the end of stage 1, we were up to 6th, passing for 5th. I mean, it wasn't bad. We were really good, and we were probably running close to leader's pace, and just it seemed like every pit stop we lose some spots on each pit stop, and that didn't help. But it just seemed like other guys could gain on us, and we really couldn't gain anything all race. And kind of what we had from lap 1 was kind of the same thing I had at lap 200, whereas the other guys, I mean we passed the 2 cars on the first run, and I thought we were going to have a really good shot at it. It just didn't seem like we could keep up with the track and keep up with changes, but it's just super grateful to be in this position. Obviously, not winning a race, it's sometimes you're in, sometimes you're out. It depends on how the playoffs go, right? And I had a really enjoyable playoff run with some really great teammates.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go in the back there, and then wrap up with Wolfgang.
Noah Reed, Kenny Wallace Media. Justin, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but this was your last race with crew chief Jim Pullman, and I talked to team owner Dale Jr. on pit road, and he said that Jim was the X factor that brought you guys and this group the championship last season. And to say goodbye to him, what was the conversation like as this race closed out, and what has he meant to you personally?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know if I can put into words what Jim's meant personally. He's family. I've known him since I was a little kid, and he's somebody that I truly respect, not just because of what he's accomplished, but just how he goes about his day. He is the X factor, right? He's a difference maker, and he's somebody that I feel like has put a ton of effort into making our program better, stronger, and faster. Not just the 17, right? Like, he's excelled our entire program in junior motorsports, and it's going to be a tough loss to replace that person. But on the other side of it, look, you get moments in life that are differentiators of kind of how where we end up. And I told him, I said, he laid out the opportunity he had in front of him, plain and simple. I said, you got to go take it. And he looked at me kind of confused, right? He's like, I mean, that means I'm not going to do this, right? And I was like, yeah, but you've worked your whole career to have an opportunity like that, and to go work with a guy like Kyle Busch and a great organization like RCR. You got to go do it. And I'm really proud of him. We had a moment in the truck before the race, and Jim is not the most emotional type person, right? But he definitely was today. I feel like, it's definitely difficult for him to move on. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm super proud of him. I'm happy for it, and I think it's going to be the best opportunity, and he's going to go kill it. And we're going to make the most of it at junior motorsports, right? We're going to put someone in that position that they can do the same job and move us forward. And you know, that's how the sport works.
I'll close out with Volkan.
Yeah, Justin over here, Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Provincial Press Agency. Just watching the race here, maybe my impression is wrong, but I think your car was super quick until lap 151 at the last caution when Zeke had the accident. And after that, I had the impression your car was different. It couldn't go the speed anymore. Did you feel there was something different after the last restart?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that changed was the tires, right? We put a different set of tires on there, and you know, it's so hard. I mean, when you're talking about the smallest amounts can make all the difference in the world, right? Then just how I prepped the tires in the restart and how the restart went, and you know, kind of being behind a little bit, not having clean air, you know, you stress the tires a little bit more, and you know, I look back on it, I'm like, man, I tried some things to get by those guys to get clean air that I don't feel like it wasn't beneficial. Like I didn't get the clean air, and I probably hurt my tires a little bit, right? So you know, all that builds, and then at the end of the race, we just started bleeding, and you know, it's as a driver, you hit that moment where you're seeing the cars in front of you drive away. You know that the laps are going down, and you don't give up, but you're like, man, I don't even know what I could do to be better at this moment. Like, there's nothing I'm going to do to will this thing forward. And you know, I knew that when Jesse got out clear and was quite a ways away, that kind of any hard racing that gave an opportunity to maybe come back to us wasn't going to happen. So I don't know. I wish something was different at the end there, but I definitely felt like we had the car to beat until the last set of tires, and then from there we just weren't on it.